Presidents in my lifetime. JFK. To many it's been said the lost of America's virginity. He was assassinated 1 year before I was born. Were Democrats starting to eat their own? Lyndon Johnson took over right away after JFK. JFK didn't want Vietnam War. LBJ went to Vietnam War. Stains on politicians. Was Vietnam good? Nixon. Now we went Republican. Research this story. The Watergate scandal. Next, Gerald Ford. We stayed Republican. But wait, 2 assassination attempts during his term. Does that sound familiar? Next, Jimmy Carter. Oops, now back to Democrat. Now I'm personally starting to understand politics slightly. Jimmy introduced the Department of Education, brought unions into the education business. I find it funny how now, in 2025, when the talk of dismantling the Department of Education comes in, the person losing their mind the most, the top brass of the teachers union. Then Reagan, back to Republican. A celebrity, good luck for Republicans and Americans. He tore down the wall in Berlin between the East and the West. Was that good or bad? Reagan lasted 2 terms. Things getting great for me personally. I was getting married, figuring out life. Assassination attempt happened in 1981, the year he got elected. Does that sound familiar? George Bush Sr. We stay Republican. But the first time that I see Republican politicians become the face of taxes, waste, and war. Foreign policies matter. Working in the private sector, I lost jobs and had to pivot to survive the economic downturns from this guy. I didn't have social media to cry on about losing my job. I kept fighting and I worked. The Gulf War and terrorism. There was an assassination plot targeting Bush. Kuwaiti officials arrested individuals suspected of planning his assassination. Next, Clinton. Well, now that the Republicans are tax and war party, we have to go back to the Democrats. White House immoral scandals. It wasn't sex. Well, young girls, school-age girls, started emulating the president's actions because it wasn't sex. This is when I felt the shift. As First Lady Hillary is humiliated, that party vows to right the wrong of the Clintons' actions by hoping to empower her. Now today, what do you see? She's empowered, but she hates. 2 terms of this crap. They tried to implement Doge, but didn't. George W. Bush. Now back to Republican morals, values, and lies plague last administration. We go conservative. More war and terrorists. His vice president had ties to military production, which made me think, are these wars valid? Maybe fighting terrorism? Or was the VP getting rich? We all had to suffer 9/11. Many questions arose. I feel this is when media was on our side, as we all watched reports. The loss of mainstream media. What is it today? People writing books about what they saw and were paid not to report, but lie about it? Obama. The pendulum swings back to far left. America wants a black president. Money starts to fly away. Blacks say he's black enough. Drugs, lies, deception. What is real? What is not? How rich are the Clintons, the Bushes, the Obamas? Hip-hop culture explodes. Diddy and Obama? We see 2 terms of this. Obama deports. No one cried. Obama talks of Doge. Didn't matter. If he did it, people would have cried, but he didn't. That's why nobody cried. He elects Biden for Doge. He didn't get it done. Swamp is severely infested. Obama and Biden talk of morals and values. What? The machine is rolling. First Trump. Uh-oh, Trump enters. The people have been tired of the crap. A successful businessman that was loved by celebrities and politicians from the 90s picks Republican. Everyone loses their mind. We can't have him mess up the machine. First-year terms ends with COVID, Fauci, lockdowns, Dems and teachers union demanding to stay home. Don't work, don't study. Gavin Newsom even tried to dictate to Californians how many people to celebrate Thanksgiving with. Lies about origin of COVID from the mainstream media. Hate Trump. Many of us felt better during his first term, but it wasn't going to be tolerated. Now comes Biden. Now the machine won. Everybody in mainstream media and politicians spewing hate about Trump. 4 long years of Biden. Now we know the cover-up and lies. Massive cover-ups. Is he a puppet for Obama? Is his wife mad she doesn't get to be a Hillary or a Michelle? Now the only thing the machine has to do is make sure Trump never comes back. Jan 6th, lies, judicial corruption, no law in the streets. But Trump must go down. Country is already sold out. They try to seal the deal. Take down our country. Now, politicians and mainstream media want to move on. Lying cowards. Trump survived fake scandals, all the hate and bashing. The people tired of the crap elected him. Tired of men and women's sports. Tired of financial and physical burden from flooding borders. Foreign policies gone. U.S. weakness. How much money was spent on overseas trans projects and DEI hires?
I think this is on point. I actually agree with this, but what do you think? Let me know.
What do you make of what Trump has said about diversity, equity and inclusion policies? He's basically suggested that they should be scrapped.
They should be scrapped. Yeah, diversity, equity and inclusion are 3 wonderful sounding words that are in fact a scheme to do the exact opposite. It's to divide and it's to create inequality. It's to revive racism, but this time against white people. It's all based on this idea that there's an oppressor and oppressed. It's what I call neo-communism, because the communism before 1989 failed. It was centered around class and economic inequality. But this DEI scheme is based on race and identity politics. And these things are terrible, and we've seen the outcome of that. So for the Trump administration to go out and say, let's get rid of this, I'm very much in favor of that.
Dems are ridiculous. No policy, no care for anything or Americans. Love criminals, love to spend our taxes recklessly, and the hypocrisy is jaw-droppingly sick. These politicians acting foolish, flying to El Salvador. Schools spewing anti-American, anti-Semitic speeches. Free Americans so dumb to back terrorism.
All the while, I'm the blue-eyed devil, racist, misogynist, xenophobe, Nazi. As a kid growing up, until almost my adult life, this was non-existent. It wasn't the case. Systematic racism and hate has been taught and preached. Like him or hate him, have not seen someone campaign on what they will do and do it.
You know, to just be grossly generalistic, you could put half of Trump's supporters into what I call the basket of deplorables. Right? The racist, sexist, homophobic, xenophobic, Islamophobic, you name it. And unfortunately, there are people like that. And he has lifted them up. He has given voice to their websites that used to only have 11,000 people, now have 11 million. He tweets and retweets. They're offensive, hateful, mean-spirited rhetoric.
I guess people love lies and waste their taxpayer dollars. Stop the hate, research. Regardless of what any man does or says, I follow the word of God my best I can. Trump didn't need money like the rest of the politicians. He was and is a successful businessman. Stay in the middle. No more far right, no more far left. Multiple attempts against Trump's life because of nonsensical hysteria created. Now even the ex-director of FBI Comey wants to play dumb about his shells in the sand. And I didn't know what 86 means. Every security guard to federal law enforcement knows that term. Oh yeah, another bookseller.
This is why I've come to my conclusions. Who's really the bad guys? Me? Soccer moms? Christians? Jews? Republicans? Democrats? Women? Men? Illegals? In my opinion, mainstream media and the far-right Republicans and far-left Democrats.